First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to sell the land my daughter inherited from her dad to pay for my stepson's surgery? My female 39, late husband passed away when our daughter was 10 years old. He inherited the land from his mom and decided to leave it as it is. He didn't invest in it, he just decided that he'd leave it for our daughter. Before he died, we had a few conversations that were unwanted but necessary, and he made it clear that the land goes to our daughter. Our daughter is now 15 years old. I married my now husband Josh, who has a chronically sick son aged 17. I have a job, and so I help with hospital bills / medication, and 4 months ago, I paid X money to get my stepson the medical device he needed, but that's just a temporary solution. I do all I can, and the money I have left is for basic everyday needs. My husband isn't doing well financially. His work was affected by our circumstances and is struggling. About a month ago, Josh brought up the land and asked questions about it. I told him that I don't plan on doing anything with it, and it will be my daughter's decision when she's older. He never brought it up again, until last week. He came back from the hospital looking very angry. He said he got into an argument with his family for refusing to help him with my stepson's surgery in March. He asked me if I could sell the land, use some of the money for my stepson's surgery, and give the rest to my daughter. I told him I can't. He told me I'm her parent, meaning that I get to decide on what to do with the land, and it's not like I will get into legal troubles because I have the authority to do what I want. We argued back and forth, and he lashed out at me saying I was being selfish and prioritizing my daughter over his son. He said he already made plans because he couldn't wait any longer and needed the money, so he expects me to pitch in and help. His words were hurtful because I can't count the times I helped with both money and effort, and just because I told him I can't do anything with the land, he calls me selfish. We got nowhere after this argument. His last sentence before he walked out was, I hope your conscience will let you sleep at night. And it was awful. I cried because he was putting a lot of pressure on me and refusing to see that all I got for my daughter's future is this land that her dad left her. Most of my salary is spent on my stepson and his needs. His sister called me asking why I was arguing with him and making him stressed out when he's dealing with so much already. I don't know what he told her, but he probably lied. He's not speaking to me right now and is trying to talk to my daughter about it. I'm not even sure what he's telling my stepson now since he already talked to his sister, causing her to lash out at me. Answering the question, the surgery is only needed to improve his condition. The device we got him isn't supposed to be used for long, even though it's only been 4 months. I understand it's a temporary solution, and my stepson's health isn't improving. My husband has time to find money, but is making it seem like it's my fault, and that he doesn't need to find the money since we have the land. He keeps saying that I'm selfish and not doing enough. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole, and maybe don't let him manipulate your daughter into giving it to him? Jesus Christ. I too am making sacrifices if you can't see that. I even at some point sold some of my jewelry to help out. I absolutely don't mind helping my stepson. He's struggling, I know that. But my husband disrespected me with his behavior and clearly doesn't care about my daughter's future that much. Or maybe he's just desperate, but that is no excuse. You need to consult an attorney. This guy's going to psychologically break your daughter down until he gets what he wants. Please arrange to put the land in a trust to protect it. Edited to add, if you and your husband own the home you live in, you might want to check if he's remortgaged it. Not the a-hole, but if the land wasn't legally left to your daughter, I'd be looking to get it ring-fenced in the event of a divorce. This, if it has not already happened, get a lawyer, now. This, consult with a lawyer, but maybe putting the land into a trust will help protect it from his greedy hands. Not the a-hole. It sucks what is happening to his son, but that is not his or your land. He made plans? He shouldn't have. Anything regarding money that's not his should be discussed first. He's desperate, and this won't end well. It's really starting to feel he's using you as financial help for his son. Do you even have a stable relationship? How is your relationship impacting your daughter? Helping is one thing, but he is crossing lines that may end up with decisions that could seem like you're spitting on your late husband's grave. Perhaps you need to get away for a day somewhere you feel calm and safe. Then think about the situation you're in. He has some nerve calling you selfish after you pitched for his son's bills time and time again. Disgusting. I hope your conscience will let you sleep at night. I hope one day he will look in the mirror and see what sort of guilt-tripping monster he's turning into. Is trying to talk to my daughter about it. You're the a-hole for this. What are you doing? She's 15 and is guilt-tripping her? Get her away from him. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling stepmother's secret to her parents? My female 15 mom passed away in October 2019 after a long battle with lung cancer. I was really close to her and I miss her all of the time. In January 2020, my dad brought home his new girlfriend to meet us, and she moved in with us when our state went into lockdown in March. They got married in November. I hate her. I know it's a cliche, but for the past year, I felt like my dad shoved aside mine and my siblings' grief so that he could have fun with a new wife. She's not evil or anything. I think she doesn't know what to do with us, so she mostly ignores us. A few months ago, I overheard her talking on the phone with a friend, and basically, it turns out that she met and started dating my dad before my mom died. I have no idea if my mom knew or not, but to me, it feels incredibly disrespectful. Stepmom's parents came to our house for Christmas, and while they were mostly nice people, they kept telling their daughter how proud they were of her for stepping up and being a mother to these children. I got so mad because she clearly was trying to make it seem like we have a better relationship than what actually exists. So, I told her parents that she wasn't much of a stepmother, and that dating my dad before my mom had even died wasn't something a good person would do. The fallout hasn't been pretty, and even though it felt righteous in the moment, I've been thinking I went too far. Am I the a-hole for telling on my stepmother? Edit. Wow. Thank you all for your responses. I saw a few people asking for more info, so I thought I'd add it here. After I found out they'd been dating since before my mom died, I told my siblings. We tried to talk to our dad about it. He told us that his romantic life was his business, and has shut it down anytime one of us tries to talk about it. So basically, I don't know if my mom knew or approved of them dating before she died. As for how things are now, it got pretty tense. Neither my dad nor stepmom has talked to me since Christmas Day, unless I say something first. Her parents were really upset. I don't know everything she told them, but they were upset enough to cut their visit short. Instead of leaving on the 29th, they left after lunch on the 25th. I really am grateful to everyone who shared a personal story about losing a parent. A lot of the times, I don't really know how things are supposed to happen now without her. Reading about how you've dealt with losing your parents made me feel kind of more steady, so thank you. Not the a-hole. Perhaps it was a bit petty, but honestly, I would probably do the same. Lol. As someone who grew up with step-parents, I always hated the whole step up and become the parent thing. Just feels disrespectful. Anyways, not the a-hole because you just revealed the truth. And what happens next is the result of stepmom's actions. Good luck, OP. It feels disrespectful because it's a person viewing you as an obstacle or a hardship to be endured, instead of, a person or even family. Not the a-hole, OP. I think anyone would have thought about doing what you did. Not the a-hole. Your dad should have handled his relationships with his wife and his kids much better. This likely wouldn't have happened if he had acted like an actual adult. I'm so sorry about your mom. But on this note, please be careful not to take things out on your stepmom that you're really upset with your dad for. I'm sure it's hard to have your relationship with your dad impacted right now, but you're obviously and rightfully angry with him. It's obviously much easier to blame your stepmom, and she's not innocent. But your dad is the only one that can actually fix this for you and your siblings, and make things right. Nothing your stepmom does or doesn't do will make the hurt of what your dad has done, and probably still is doing, go away. He has to own this and make that effort. I'm very sorry for your loss. Edited to add, in no way am I saying that OP should not be mad at stepmom. Not the a-hole. She did what she did. You only said what she did. If she can't live with the consequences, maybe she and your dad shouldn't have done it? Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for saying I don't want to call my dad's wife and stepkids my bonus mom/siblings? My dad moved his wife and her kids in at the start of COVID, rushed because things locked down, and they got married in June. I, 15 female, only met them for the first time a little over a year ago, Christmas Eve to be exact, and we didn't get to spend much time together before they moved in, and it was a lot and very fast. Her kids are 7, 5, and 4. I still don't know how I feel about them, honestly. They seem alright, but a little annoying, and very different from the family I'm used to. My mom died when I was 10, so I'm glad my dad is happy again. I just don't feel the way he does about them. My dad's wife and her family use the term bonus instead of step. She says it seems closer, and there's less distance with bonus. So, her kids call my dad their bonus dad. They call me their bonus sister, and they want me to use the term too. And I said no. I said it sounded weird to me. She said she understood, but she hoped I would try it out sometime. My dad then said to think of the kids, and how they feel like I don't care because they're little, and I'm using a term that seems very negative and distant. I told him I haven't grown to really care about them yet. That it's all so much harder for me. He said he got it, but as the oldest, I need to think of their feelings more than my own weirdness. His wife said it was okay, and if I don't like the term, kids will adjust. My dad admitted to me over Christmas he was hoping I would have softened more by now to use the term. Am I the a-hole? Oh, sweetheart. I'm a bonus mom to a little boy, and reading this broke my heart. You are not an a-hole. Your dad really messed up the process of blending families. It sounds like your stepmom is being cautiously optimistic that you might someday grow to love them as your bonus family, and I hope she isn't pushing you. I hope she's letting you take your time. I really want to have a conversation with your dad. He needs to reset his expectations. Maybe it's time to loop in some literature on how to blend families the right way. It's time to do some repairing, but that's your dad's job, not yours. This is about your comfort and your timeline, not when your dad wishes you would get with the program. For your part, I do think you should continue to be as kind and loving as possible to the kiddos. They are just as much pawns in this game like you. They didn't have a choice in the matter. Not the a-hole. Another parent trying to force their child to help them play happy family. There's nothing wrong with the term stepmom and step-siblings. To be honest, I always thought a bonus mom was someone who wasn't your mom by blood or marriage, but someone you look up to like a mom. That's the way I feel too. Like, bonus parents or bonus siblings to me signifies that you are really close and want something deeper than step. And that's great for someone who feels that way. But for me, it's not where I am with them. No a-holes here. I like your stepmother's point of view in this. I think that it is great that she said she understood and did not try to put pressure on you to change. It's up to you how you feel about these people, and forcing a feeling of closeness when you're not there yet is only going to build resentment. You may get closer over time and change your mind, or you may not. Either is okay. Your dad is the a-hole in this situation for putting the other kids' feelings above yours. The kids will hear the term step being used to describe family in life. They can and will adjust. Also with young kids, it's how you treat them that matters. If you are nice to them, that should be enough. Now, for the last story. Am I the a-hole for buying my best friend a Switch and not my stepbrother? I, male 17, have divorced parents. My mom remarried when I was 14 and my stepbrother was 13. My grandma, on my dad's side, passed away 2 years ago, and my dad told me she left me money. I didn't get to visit her much, so I was incredibly sad and didn't want to use any of the money she left me. With holidays around, and me being flat broke, I asked my dad for access to the money, and he told me he's been adding into it, so it was enough for me to buy gifts and keep the rest for whatever I wanted to save for. So, I used it to buy Christmas gifts for my family, and to buy a Switch for my best friend because his family isn't very wealthy, and I knew it was something he really wanted. I wasn't able to give it to him on Christmas, so I asked him if he could come over after. A few days ago, my stepbrother was snooping in my things, and I guess he thought it was for him. He told my mom and his dad that I had gotten him a Switch. Today, my friend came over and I gave him the Switch, and he was so happy. My mom said I was sweet for giving him and my brother a Switch. And I kinda went, huh? She told me my stepbrother told her that I got him one, but I didn't. So I told her I didn't get him one, and it was for my friend. She said I shouldn't have gotten his hopes up, and he was looking forward to having one. I said it wasn't my fault he looked through my stuff, and I wasn't going to take away the only Christmas gift my friend got, just because my stepbrother thought it was his. My stepbrother is upset over the whole thing, and my mom thinks I should have gotten it for my brother and not my friend. Am I the a-hole? Now, let's read the top judgment. Not the a-hole. It is your money, and your choice what to spend it on. Your stepbrother was wrong to snoop through your things. He got his heart broken because of his snooping, and him assuming the gift was for him. Your mom should have reprimanded your stepbrother for snooping and not you for giving the gift you had to your friend. He's also 16. He'll get over it. At 16, he's old enough to find a summer job and save to buy himself one. Maybe not during a pandemic, but you get my point. Not the a-hole. Your stepbrother snooped and made a false assumption. You didn't say it was for him, and his name wasn't on it. You'd be more of an a-hole if you gave it to him, because you'd be taking it away from the person you actually bought it for. Unrelated, but it's really sweet that you did that for your friend. Exactly. This should have been a valuable lesson about snooping. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Your mom is mad at you that your stepbrother snoops through your things? Talk about a parent who doesn't know how to be a parent. It's not your role to give him gifts. It's hers. If she keeps pressuring you, just speak with your dad. Honestly, I'm surprised why you're not living with him in the first place. He sounds more reasonable than your mother. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.